Hey there, imagine you have a robotic librarian. This librarian's job is to help you find specific information across the internet. But here's the catch. The librarian doesn't have all the answers. So when you ask, what's the most important information on AI agents, the librarian doesn't just pull answers from memory. Instead, they go on a quest to find the right books, articles, and papers online, gathering only the most relevant pages that will help answer your question. This process of searching and collecting information from the internet is known as web crawling. But there's more. After the librarian gathers all these books, the next thing they need is a way to organize and understand what they have collected. That's where RAG, which is Retrieval Augmented Generation, comes into play. Think of RAG as the librarian's brain. It doesn't memorize everything they have read. Instead, they take all the data and generate an accurate, meaningful answer by finding the most relevant parts. So while web crawling is about gathering information, RAG is about organizing and generating the right answer from that information. Now let's bring it all together. Web crawling and RAG are like the ultimate team. Web crawling helps the librarian gather the right data from the internet, and RAG ensures that the librarian can give you the most accurate, helpful, and expert answer. Crawl4AI is a tool that helps the librarian gather this information quickly and efficiently, turning raw website into something that AI can understand. In this video, I'm going to show you how Crawl4AI can supercharge this process. You learn how to separate scraped data from websites, convert it into a format that's easy for AI to understand, and set it up for RAG to use. This will help your AI become an expert in anything, whether it's AI agents, e-commerce stores, or any domain you want. I'm also going to walk you through the entire process step by step, from installation to scraping websites and preparing the data for RAG. Before we commence, if you're interested in mastering the future of technology, the professional certificate course in generative AI and machine learning is the perfect opportunity for you. Offered in collaboration with the ENICT Academy, IIT Kanpur, this 11-month live and interactive program provides hands-on expertise in cutting-edge areas like generative AI, machine learning, and tools such as ChatGPT, DALL-E 2, and Hugging Face. We also have integrated labs and live masterclasses delivered by esteemed IIT Kanpur faculty. So hurry up and enroll now and find the course link in the description box below and in the pinned comments. So without any further ado, let's get started. Alright, so let's start with the basic and first understand what exactly is web crawling. Imagine you're a reporter covering a big event. Instead of attending every session or speaking to every guest by yourself, you send a robot to gather all the news for you. The robot visits every corner of the event, notes down all the important details, and then brings them back for you to report on. This robot is necessarily a web crawler. So in simple terms, web crawling is the process where a computer program or robot automatically visits websites, extracts the data, and brings it back to you in a very structured way. It saves it tons of time by collecting a lot of information from a bunch of different sites, that too in one go. For example, let's say you want to track the latest product prices on different e-commerce websites. So instead of manually visiting each website to check the prices, you can just use a web crawler to automatically visit the website and then extract the prices for you. And here's why web crawling is important in RAG. So when you're feeding your AI knowledge, you need data from the web. Web crawlers help gather that data in a way that makes it useful for your AI. The more data your AI can access, the smarter it becomes. So now that you have understood what is web crawling, let's understand what is RAG, which is Retrieval Augmented Generation. So this might sound a little complicated at first, but trust me, we'll make it super clear. Imagine having an AI assistant. Normally, this assistant knows a lot about general topics, but when you ask it about something new or specific, it's just guessing. It's like asking someone who knows a lot of general facts but hasn't read the latest book on your favorite subject. RAG solves that problem by allowing the AI to retrieve information from external sources like websites, documents, and then generate a response based on that information. It's just like giving your assistant a superpower where it can look up answers on its own, rather than just relying on what it already knows. And the best part is, it helps your AI become an expert in specific fields that it wasn't familiar with before. Let's say, for example, imagine you're building a customer support bot for a new product. Normally, the bot wouldn't know much about your product if it's new or niche. But by using RAG, you can feed it all the product documentation and facts, and the bot will be able to provide accurate, detailed answers just like an expert who's been trained on everything related to that product. So now you must have understood what exactly is RAG. Let's switch our gears and understand how web crawling is used in RAG. So here's the connection. Web crawling is the first step to RAG. If you want your AI to become an expert in any particular subject, it needs access to detailed information. And that's where web crawlers come in. They help gather the data that your AI will use to generate smart answers. For RAG to work, the AI has to be fed the right information. You can use web crawlers to visit different websites, gather the information you want, like product details, user manuals, or technical blogs. And then you can store that information in a format that the AI can understand. Here's an example. Let's say you're building a chatbot that helps people understand a specific programming language. You can use a web crawler to scrape all the tutorials, guides, and documentation available online about that language, and then you can feed it into the AI. Now, when users ask about the bot questions, it can answer them with the most up-to-date relevant information. So now you must have understood how is web crawling used in RAG. We will understand in the next topic what is Crawl4AI and how does it work. So now let's start with what is Crawl4AI and how does it work. So we have head over to this website. It's open source. You can just directly access it. So basically, Crawl4AI is the #1 trending GitHub repository which is actively maintained by a vibrant community. It delivers blazing fast, AI-ready crawling tailored for large language models, AI agents, and even data pipeline. It's open source, flexible, and built for real-time performance. Crawl4AI empowers developers with unmatched speed, precision, and deployment ease. Also, the latest update is out over here, so you can just simply check that. So these are the major highlights. First of all, it's deep crawling system. That is, you can explore websites beyond initial URLs with just 3 strategies, which is the BFS, DFS, best first strategy, page limiting. So these are the new features it has allowed. You also get the option of multiple crawling strategy as well. Now you might be thinking that why should you consider using Crawl4AI? So first of all, it's built for large language model. That is, it creates smart, concise, markdown optimized for RAG and fine-tuning application. It's very fast. It delivers results 6 times faster with real-time, cost-efficient performance. It's flexible browser control. That is, it offers session management, proxies, and custom hooks for seamless data access. It also has heuristic intelligence, that is, it uses advanced algorithms for efficient extraction, reducing reliance on costly models. It's also open source and deployable, that is, fully open source with no API keys, ready for Docker and cloud integration as well. So now let me tell you by giving an example that why is it so important to use Crawl4AI. So when I just click on the website view page source from here, so from here you can just extract the raw HTML from it, but just look at this. It looks a complete mess, and as a human looking at this, it's very hard to actually extract the useful information. So probably it would be even harder for the large language model to extract information from here. And so one of the most important things that Crawl4AI does is that it takes this ugly HTML that we get when we visit the raw content of a web page, and then it turns into a markdown form, which is actually even human readable format, like a super clean way to represent a web page and all the information that we see when we're typically visiting a UI. Let's suppose when you're visiting a UI like this. Just in something that's all text-based, so we can give it to a large language model and just for them to understand it better in general. And one more thing is that it handles a lot of things under the hood, like proxies, session management, things that are not easy to handle. So it's not like you can go and make your own version of Crawl4AI very easily, because you know how to use the request model in Python to pull the HTML from websites, and it's also completely open source and very easy to deploy. They even have a Docker option, which I already told you before. So you can also use them to deploy using the Docker option and the Docker deployment. So right now I'll not be focusing much on the Docker part. So we'll just get started with the installation part for Crawl4AI here. So first thing is that you need to just install the package from here. So I'll just copy the command and just open terminal. And from here, you can just copy paste, and it's saying that you're about to paste, which contains multiple lines. So yeah, I have already installed Crawl4AI in my system, so it will automatically take the other commands as well to set up and to pre-install the previous versions as well. So I'll just click on paste anyway. So it is installing the package now. It will just take hardly seconds to install everything. So as you can see, it has successfully installed the Crawl4AI. It's mentioned over here. And now it is installing the pre-release versions. Now we are running the post installation setup for Crawl4AI using this particular command. Now to verify your installation, you would have to give the command of Crawl4AI doctor, and we'll just click enter. So it is running a Crawl4AI health check now, and it's testing all the crawling capabilities of this particular Crawl4AI. So now as you can see, all the crawling test has been passed and we have successfully installed Crawl4AI. Now if you encounter any browser related issues, you can also install them manually using this particular command from here. And now you can run a simple web crawl using the Python. Or you can also use a new command line interface. Let me show you my own version of this particular Python from here in the VS Code. We've got a VS Code from here and we have all the source code from here. And this is the crawl single page.py. This is the program which I have shown you before. That is this particular example, how to do a simple web crawl using Python. Also, you would need to install the Visual Studio installer to actually integrate all the tools, C++ files, CLI and everything. Yeah, so here this is a simple code to web crawl for this particular URL, which is Pydantic. So I'll just show you what exactly is this particular AI tool and why are we scraping that. Okay. So basically, Pydantic AI is a Python agent framework which is designed to make it less painful to build production grade application with the help of generative AI. So why should you consider using Pydantic AI? Because it's built by the Pydantic team, it's model agnostic, Pydantic log file integration, it's type safe, Python-centric design, structured responses dependency injection system, stream responses, graph support, and many more. So when you just click on the view page source from here, so you can see this is the source code, the HTML code from here. And now we will be just scraping all the information of this particular website into our code. So this will give you all the information by running this code. So to run this, we'll just go to our terminal from here and just click on Python and enter the script name, which is one crawl single page PI. So as you can see, so within second it has given me all the website, the content, the structure of all the code from here. That too in such a readable format. You can see the introduction is here included, why, what is the Pydantic AI framework, everything using the code and everything. So as you can see, we have scraped all the information for that particular page script over here, which was this particular script for Pydantic AI. All right. Now, one more thing, that what you see here in the navigation bar, the different pages. So you would need to write code for differently for each particular page. Now, if you want to integrate all the pages in one go, here comes the introduction of Sitemap. So what Sitemap will do is, it will actually give you a full website structure, which will contain all the web pages and all the pages which you see on the website. And then you can simply scrape the data from there. So to activate that, just click on / and just enter sitemap.xml for any website you want to scrape for. Yeah, so as you can see, the XML file is ready now. And this XML file does not have to appear to give any style information associated with it. The document tree is shown below. So this is the sitemap, as you can see. This basically gives you the entire structure of a website of all the pages that exist for the Pydantic AI documentation right now, which I have already shown you before. Now I can do the same thing for the Crawl4AI documentation as well. So let's suppose if I want to do it for Crawl4AI. So from here, you'll just head over to the documentation site for this Crawl4AI. And these are the different navigation pages from here. And we'll just write / sitemap.xml to see the sitemap structure of this. Yeah. And so from here, you can just scrape the data, and these are all the information of all the different pages. So yeah, in the same way, you can do this with the most of the websites, mostly e-commerce stores, if they are built with Shopify, WordPress, because they would have contained more number of pages, right? Even the general website have this for search engine optimization also for crawlers. I mean, a lot of websites want you to crawl them because they want their information very widespread. Like if I'm building an AI agent framework, then I would definitely want people to crawl this and build agents around it. Because then they're using my framework and it's just more accessible. Now, one more thing, if you're much more curious about how can you scrape a website, there's a lot of ethics behind it. So what you can do is, you can just simply go to any general websites. Let's suppose youtube.com. Just type youtube.com and then add this /robots.txt. Yeah, so as you can see, this is the robots.txt file for YouTube, which is created in the distant future, the year 2000 after, and the robotic uprising for the mid-90s, which wiped out all the humans. And this is the user agent, and this is the disallow function or whatever it is. So first of all, for any website which we are scraping, you can use the robot.txt first before, and then you can go ahead, like GitHub is also a good example to scrape, and this will give you all the permissions. I mean, how can you scrape this and what are the ethics you should follow for scraping that particular website. You can also similarly check for github.com also. So we'll just check github.com/robots.txt. Okay. Yeah, so this is the particular txt robots.txt documentation for GitHub. So it has given you the permission if you would like to crawl GitHub contact, you need to contact to this particular support team from here. Then it is also mentioned that we also provide an extensive API and the username and the crawl delay and everything from here. Now talking about the URLs that you can add to pretty much any website, so you can just do /robots.txt or the /sitemap.xml. And so we're going to do encode and pull this sitemap, and then we're going to extract every single URL and then feed it to Crawl4AI. And we want to do that very efficiently because right here we're just going to pull every URL, then looping it and going through one at a time. So let's just check in the VS Code here. All right, so we had got this information for this particular page, right? The structure, website structure. So you can do it in for different pages as well. So let's do for this crawl doc sequential.py. And so this is a simple code to crawl the website from here. So you can create the crawler by using this particular function from here. And then you can just get the pydantic doc URL from here, and just we are giving the sitemap XML to get the URLs. The sitemap URL is mentioned over here in the code. And then you have to extract all the URLs from the sitemap, and the namespace is usually defined in the root element also. Now, if you want to extract the website from here, again, we'll just go in the terminal. And again, we have to run the same thing and just enter the name of the script from here, which is to. So it is giving that it has found 63 URLs to crawl for the sequential crawling with the session reuse. Just successfully crawl the website from here. It has also given error. The markdown v2 attribute is deprecated and has been removed. So please use the markdown instead, which now returns markdown generation result with the following properties. You just get the details for whatever crawl you're doing for that particular website and what changes you have to make in order to crawl. So now let us also understand some advanced crawling techniques with Crawl4AI. So as you know, with Crawl4AI, you can also crawl multiple pages in parallel, which makes the process a lot more easier. We have the option here. Let's check the multi URL crawling. Okay. So instead of visiting one page at a time, then Crawl4AI will allow you to explore websites in different ways using techniques like breadth first search, depth first search, and these strategies will help you to crawl efficiently and make sure you get the most relevant pages. So basically, the breadth first search will explore websites level by level, scraping pages in the same level before moving on to the next level. Talking about DFS, it will dive deep into the website and scrape each section before moving on to the next branch. Best first, which will use scoring to prioritize important pages first. So as you can see, so when crawling many URLs, this is the basic which you have to use. Use Arun in a loop, simple but less efficient. If you use this particular function, then it will efficiently handle multiple URL with proper concurrency control also. And for best results, you can just customize the dispatcher behavior for your specific needs, memory management, rate limits, etc. So why are we using dispatchers? Because it's adaptive, rate limiting, real-time monitoring, and flexibility. So these are the core components of using the rate limiter function from here. So basically, the rate limiter is a utility that will help manage the pace of requests to avoid overloading servers or getting blocked due to rate limits. So it operates internally to delay requests and handle retries, but can be configured using its constructor parameters. So these are the parameters for rate limiter, which is the base delay. Then we have the example also, the base delay. Suppose this delay could be randomly chosen between 2.3 seconds and 4.1 seconds. We also have an example for initializing and using the rate limiter in your project. This is the example from here. We also have the crawler monitor, and the crawler monitor will provide the real-time visibility into crawling operations. So these strategies will ensure that Crawl4AI extracts the most important data for your AI quickly and effectively. So when we had crawled for this particular tool, sequential PY, so it had to crawl all of them sequentially so that we'll get into parallel. And by using parallel processing, you can make it much more faster and even within seconds. Now the third code which we have is for the crawl docs fast.py, and here also they can append the parent directory to the system path by giving this particular command. And you can also create the crawler instance by using this function. And then we can chunk the URLs in batches of max concurrent. It will fetch all the URLs with the Pydantic AI documentation and will use the sitemap to get all the URLs from there. So in this way, you can actually, integrate using the AI agent from here. See, from Pydantic AI, you can import the agent, and it has also used the AI models, OpenAI model as well, to create and, insert all the information to the knowledge base. It has also given a system prompt like you're an expert at Pydantic AI, a Python agent framework that you can access all the documentation to. So this is a system prompt from here. And when you first look at the documentation, you can always start with the RAG. Then we will also check the list of available documentation pages and retrieve the content of the pages if it will help. Always let the user know when you didn't find the answer in the documentation or in the right URL, to be honest. And so you can integrate it using this function. So in this way, you can create your own AI agent tool, and then you can retrieve a list of all the available Pydantic AI documentation pages, and then it will return the list of unique URLs of all the documentation page from here. See, it has retrieved the full content of a specific documentation page by combining all the chunks now. So it's very simple and easy. So in this way, you can create your own chatbot agent as I have explained to you. Let's wrap this up by talking about why Crawl4AI is perfect for RAG. So with the help of Crawl4AI, you can actually scrape websites and turn them into high quality data sources for your AI. First of all, it will ensure the speed, that is, it scrapes data much more faster than any other tools. It's memory efficient. It's designed to handle large amounts of data without using too much memory, which means you can scrape entire websites without crashing your system. It's also flexible crawling, that is, you can crawl a few pages or thousands depending on your needs. So with the help of the combination of the speed and efficiency, it will make Crawl4AI a great tool for RAG and enable your AI to have access to most up-to-date knowledge in record time. So guys, that was a complete breakdown of how Crawl4AI can help you create powerful AI agents using RAG. So by gathering relevant data, web crawling, cleaning it up, and feeding it to your AI model, you can make your AI an expert in any subject you choose. So if you like this video, do give us a thumb up and subscribe for more videos by Simplilearn. Thank you and keep learning with Simplilearn.
Staying ahead in your career requires continuous learning and upskilling. Whether you're a student aiming to learn today's top skills or a working professional looking to advance your career, we've got you covered. Explore our impressive catalog of certification programs in cutting-edge domains, including data science, cloud computing, cybersecurity, AI, machine learning, or digital marketing. Designed in collaboration with leading universities and top corporations, and delivered by industry experts, choose any of our programs and set yourself on the path to career success. Click the link in the description to know more.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.